Hello guys, welcome back. Let's continue our tutorial here. Last time we saw very basic stuff. Today we continue a little bit where we have finished last time. But today we go to make things a little bit more advanced than the last time. But we do everything with baby steps, so don't worry. We go to make things in a very easy way, even if sometimes you will use those tools for something more complicated. What we saw last time was all these masks over there. Let's continue to see a little bit deeper the settings over there. I go to make a mask. Let's make a random mask like this, a nice square. And let's go to select. As you remember, select is basically the settings of the masks that you are creating. I click over there, and what we saw last time was inverse. So if I go to inverse, as you can see, I'm inverting the mask. Ctrl Z to undo everything. Let's go to see a few other things. If I go to modify, you can see here several things that you are able to choose. If I choose border, basically it creates a border with the thickness in pixels that you choose. For example, 5 pixels of border. I click on OK, and here we go. Let's go to the pen and let's draw. You see, I'm drawing only here inside. Undo. Let's go to invert it, inverse. Let's make it a bit bigger so we have a little bit more stuff to see over there. And now you see it's exactly the opposite. So also this here is something very handy and very important. You will use this quite often too. Let's go back to our square and let's go here to select, modify, and expand. Expand basically means that you are scaling up your shape over there in the size of pixels that you like. For example, let's try again with 5 pixels. You will see that on every side it becomes bigger of 5 pixels. Here we go. Let's go back and let's go to modify. Contract is exactly the opposite. We are able to make everything smaller, so we reduce the size in each side with 5 pixels. Here we go. So you see, these tools are very important and very useful. You will use the masking tool really every 5 minutes, even more maybe, and it helps really a lot. The last thing for the masks that we go to see today are in select, and here you can see load and save. Why do we have this here? Because when you go to save your file, save as, and you choose, for example, I don't know, the other files, you can see here that whenever we save it, it will not save the mask. Let's open this. You see, it's the square, it's the empty canvas, but no mask is saved. But if I go now to make a nice mask again, let's make a mask like this. I go to save MSK, so it's a mask file. Let's go to desktop and let's call it mask, and let's go to save it as a MSK file. Here we go. Let's delete the mask and let's bring it back from the saved file. I go to select, load from MSK file, and basically mask, I load it like this. Here we go. It's exactly the same mask that we had before. So remember, whenever you have created a mask and you need to shut down the computer because maybe you continue later, you will lose it. So don't forget to save the mask so that you can continue exactly in the way where you have finished last time. So this is everything about the mask. Let's go again to see a few things about the pencil here, or about the brush tool. First of all, a thing that we didn't cover last time is this little symbol here. If I press on ink and you go on alpha compositing, this one allows you to have a brush with more or less opacity. Last time we saw it already enabled because I was enabling it for other projects that I did, but now I have set it exactly how it will be the first time that you open the software. So I go to alpha compositing, and now you see the opacity that pops out. This was not there before, it's new, and now if I draw, you see 255 means 100%. I can go like last time to the center, this is more or less 50%, or I can lower it even more to 25% more or less. Here we go. Whenever you have clicked this one, it will cover a little bit everything where it's allowed to use it. It will cover it also for the eraser tool. You see, I go to eraser. Now suddenly we see it also over there. This is 100%, but if I go to 50, it erases only a part, or better, not 100%, let's say. It makes it more transparent at the end. Another thing which is very important is this one here. In the beginning, it's a circular shape. It makes sense only if it's a few pixels big as size, the brush size. If it's just 1 pixel, it will be still the same. So a pixel is just a pixel, but if your brush size is, for example, 30 or 29, like this one, I make a click, you can see, one second, you can see that it's sorry, of course we have to select it. You can see that it's a perfect circle. Here we go. And if we go to the rectangle, it's a perfect rectangle. The rectangle has an additional slot, which is the angle. You can make a rotation, and you see it on the left side here. You rotate it a little bit, so you tilt it, and you are able to use it now in this way here. So it could be also something interesting to know. Maybe you will not use it too many times, but I think it's worth to know it. Let's go again to a smaller size, number 1. And let's go to see another thing. Here you can see Pixel Perfect. This one here is a very important tool because it allows you more or less, not 100%, but more or less to draw without juggies. So usually when you draw normally in a very standard software, you can see that there are sometimes overlapping pixels. I draw them in another color so you can see it. You see here and here. So there are really these lines here, these double lines that you are creating. These are called juggies, okay? And usually when you go to listen to pixel artists, they hate those juggies like I don't know what. So it's crazy. They like to avoid it 100%. I think it's okay if you sometimes you have them, because sometimes it's required depending by the shapes that you do. But to avoid them, you click on Pixel Perfect, and now if you draw, the software tries to avoid these juggies. So you see, it's a little bit cleaner. That's it. So nothing really so different at the end, especially if you make game art and assets with many details. Nobody will really notice too much this stuff here, okay? So it's okay. I mean, we have the tool, we can avoid it, let's do it. Why not? So this is a little bit what I like it to show you now. Let's go to delete this and that. So basically, for now, this is again the end of this tutorial. You see, today we covered a little bit more about the mask and a little bit more about the pencil tool, going to see also a few tools over there. So quite interesting. Hope that you liked this tutorial. See you next time. And if you liked it, please subscribe and like. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.